Johnny Gill, a.k.a. Little Baby Jesus. I just want y'all to know, y'all see I'm right here, kicking it right here, you know, with my family here, with Shawn Stockman on that note. Y'all know I specialize in notes. Whoa, Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Wanna do it. Hallelujah. So I grew up, wanna do it. Woke me up early this morning and started me on my way.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right, let's get it poppin'.
Man, I remember the day. I remember when you first started rocking, dude.
know, Jay.
That is so crazy. Every time I see you posting, I'm just going, "Oh shit!"
No, dude. I took it
was
very,
not playing, huh?
nah.
Oh my god.
I took it very seriously.
That's so
Jay.
cool, man.
I was like, shit.
So cool.
Because I always wanted to play. I always wanted to learn, and I was always too scared to do it because it just seemed just so out of reach. And as I got older, it was kind of like, damn, I don't know if it's too late.
Wow.
And Nate was like, yo, man, I'm going to Guitar Center, get a bass. Come with me, get your guitar.
Wow.
And I said, okay. And I grabbed it, and when I say Johnny, I slept with it.
Wow. Did it? Who taught you though? Like, did you
Me.
have some? Oh, really?
Me.
Wow.
Me
That's crazy.
and YouTube. I call it YouTube University.
Yeah.
Where you can get anybody or any lesson from anybody.
Right.
I would just pick out my favorite guitars. And a lot of times, you know, you want to imitate your heroes. So I looked at Jimi Hendrix and saw how he played, and I couldn't play nothing at the time, but I was still kind of just doing his moves.
The motions of it.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On That Note, where we speak a language that we all understand, and that is music. My name is Shawn Stockman. Behind the camera is my partner, Brian. And today, we have a man that's been in the business for 43 years.
42. Don't be trying to make me older.
Oh, sorry.
Give me be 43.
Okay. All right. 42 and a quarter. All right. He sold over 15 million records, toured all around the world as a soloist and also as a fellow group member of the supergroup LSG, right? First, made up of Keith Sweat and the awesome Gerald Levert. Rest in peace. We love you and we miss you, Gerald.
Oh, yeah.
And 1/6 member of the GOATs. That's what I call them. You know what I'm saying? Because without them, there would be no Boys to Men at all. This is New Edition. And he's not only a singer, but he's also hella funny. Always the good energy in any room he's in. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my big brother, one of the baddest vocalists on the planet Earth. He goes by the name of Mr. Johnny Gill. Yo.
Thank you. Baby Jesus in the house.
Baby Jesus on the boards. How you doing, man?
Oh, man. I'm great and just so happy to be here. And you know how proud I am of you, right?
No,
you know
man.
that.
Listen.
You know that, right?
I'm proud that you're proud of me.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you, like, listen, from a teenager, bro, like just listening to your voice and how amazing you were and influential to me as a youngster. Like, it is an honor to not only be sitting next to you, but actually be able to actually call you my friend.
Yes.
So that's the bug out for me. Like,
and family, because we go, I mean, shoot, my goodness.
Yeah, we go way back.
Way back. It's like, this is family without a doubt. And that's what makes me so proud, man, looking at all of this and looking how you guys have started and how you guys have come full circle, as well as even myself and my guys. It's just, we've all come full circle.
Yeah, we have.
Do you guys remember the first time you guys met? Do you remember that moment? You guys said,
you know what's so
back?
funny? I don't remember the first time.
I can tell you the first time, before I even physically met them, I remember Michael Bivens trying to sign them or trying to get them, get everything locked down with them. And he called me and said, "Hey, man."
Yeah, that's his voice.
"Hey, yo, man, I need a favor from you." I said, "What?" He was like, "My guys, man, like they're real huge fans, man, and I just wanted you to say hi to them because they're fans." And I was like, "Yeah," I said, "Absolutely." So I remember him Bivens working with him. I mean, we're working with them, trying to get everything situated with them. And I talked to them maybe over on the phone, and I remember telling you guys about how Michael was really instrumental and important to how he see things as far as, when you looked at a lot of our stuff, the ideas that Michael would come up and how creative he was.
Yeah, crazy.
So
Crazy.
Now that he said that, do you remember the phone call?
Probably not, because it was...
Because it was a long time ago.
It was on the phone, but I mean, for the most part. So, but it's like, that's when I remember the first time of hearing about them and Michael being so excited about them. So
getting to know Johnny and being around him for so many years, like I don't remember because while I remember is more so the good times. Like we have such a like I said, the intro is real. He is the life of the party. Like he comes in,
you can tell.
with an energy that is infectious. It's like he comes in, he's always happy, he's always positive, he's always bubbly, and you can't help but to be just used to that. It's contagious. Yeah. So I remember that. I remember being in the studio. I remember how, we had to record some stuff. And let me tell y'all a little secret about Johnny. He doesn't like being in the studio. He hates being in the studio.
I had to tell.
Well, why, Johnny? Why do you like not being in the studio?
Like, let me say something real quick. You can speak. But like we were recording records and it would take Johnny hours. Like you would have to have Johnny he has to have a drink and he has to chill and he has to he has to be on the phone. He has to watch some television. He has to play the piano. He's got to what I mean? Like
you have to find like your mood. Is that what it is? You have to find your moment, or it's just you're just a big kid.
I really believe that it's just about, for me, staying true to the moment of the creative moment hitting me when I'm inspired. Like it's hard for me when I'm not in the moment, at that moment inspired. It's like, because I'll record and I could sing all day long, but somebody could tell me, oh yeah, that was dope. Do that again. And I'll look at you and go, do what again? Right. Because I'm not a guy that can keep repeating the same thing over again, because it's just me being in the moment.
One take, Jake.
When I'm in the moment, I'm just in the moment.
You got it.
Yeah. So if I had my way, honestly, I would record everything that we create live, because I don't have to go back over and do it over and over and over again. Right. It's like I'm just there in the moment. And
Shawn, let me ask you, is that a common thing for a lot of artists in the studio, or a lot of them? So he's more of the anomaly in this.
There are very few people who have that level of skill that's able to hear a record, okay, I got it, hit it, and then it is dope. But it's like you sit there, okay, can you do it one more time? And that's where you kind of lose them in some cases. But no, his first takes are better than most people's temp takes because he's just that skilled. Like he has that level of understanding of music. He is a music person, and you only get that from music people. There are very few people that are able to just catch a record and then just sing it so well that you felt like he rehearsed it for 3 hours.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because for me, people talk about this all the time. When we talk to meeting different producers and talking about working with new producers, the first thing that they always say is, "Yeah, man, we got to get you another my." I'm like, you're out.
Correct.
Not because listen, the truth of the matter is when you're recording songs, you're in a time, place, and space that I don't think it's a magical thing. I don't think you could ever recreate the magic of it. You can mimic it, you could do all those things.
That's true.
But to create that moment, that magic at that time and place and space that you were in mentally, it's like, it's. I don't think you could duplicate it. So for me, I'm never sitting here going, can you find me another My. I'm like, what's next? But when I come in or I deal with a producer, and the first thing that's what they think, I'm going, we already starting out on the wrong track, because that was then and this is now. Where are we now? Tell me what can you do? How can we get to where I am creatively today and create more magic?
That's real. I hate when people do the same thing for me and my guys. This is one of the reasons why we're not really as excited to record anymore. Yeah. Because a lot of people ask, you going back in the studio? And we was like, no. Right. Because what's the point? Right. Because when people see us, they typecast us. They instantly go, okay, he wants End of the Road. They're like, who told you that? Right. Like, End of the Road is End of the Road. Like, that song will never be duplicated. Right. So don't insult yourself or embarrass yourself and try to create another End of the Road. It won't happen.
So is it like a lot like maybe an athlete when they kind of know their journey in their sport is what their body of work is kind of now it's time to celebrate their work, so to speak. Is that kind of where you guys feel like you're like, look, creating music, we did a great job for 30 years. Now it's time to celebrate our work. We're going to tour. We're going to do that.
Well, that's part of it, but there's still music in us.
Yeah.
And we still want to do music. We still want to create music, and we want to be amongst people who understands our creative space at this point in time. Like Johnny said, like it's a different era now.
Yeah.
So how do we fit into this era? I always think of how Tina Turner, right? I think she was 45 years old when she did Private Dancer.
Wow.
And according to industry standards, she was over.
Right. Yeah. That's like
right. She was over. It was her biggest album ever because she had producers and songwriters that not only understood her, but understood where she's at that moment and created one of the greatest albums ever made.
Can that happen in this time in
100%.
day and age?
Listen, for as long as you have the kind of talent and gift that we have, there's an old saying, you're always only one song away.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I don't worry about the talent. I worry about the sonically for the end user now. Are they looking for these ballads and these great written records that you guys do? Do they still want that, or are they just kind of looking for the new hot thing? I think that's more my. We talk about the NBA, so we had Magic Johnson on Byron Scott show, and he talked a lot about the league now and why it's suffering a little bit, right? And it's kind of like the fans are tuned out of this quick pace, 3-pointers, load management, right?
Yeah.
Does the audience see? I think when I was growing up in the early '80s, in the '90s. Our parents put us on to all the Marvin Gaye's, Luther Vandross, Smokey Robinson, everybody who came before my time.
What about Johnny Gill?
Well, you were in the '80s, so I was definitely listening to you on the radio.
Right. You were.
Yeah. JG was he was in the tape deck for sure. But is the user? Do they still want this great music that you guys have given America for in the world for all these years?
I went to the show at Yamava, and this group called New Edition was there.
They all right.
Yeah, they're fairly new. They're pretty good.
They have a couple hits.
They're pretty good. And I looked around the crowd. First off, it was sold out. Okay, so they're singing songs that a couple years old, things of that nature. And I see young, I see old, I see black, I see white, I see other, and all of that. My thing is that's proof positive that people still want to hear good music and and people yearn to feel like they always felt about songs. It's just that, and I think I've had this conversation with previous guests. The problem with the music industry is that it's not run by music people.
Yeah.
The industry,
there without a doubt.
The industry is run by algorithm geeks and people that sit in offices that are trying to figure out how to replenish their trust fund through ad revenue. And it's not an insult. It was just the truth.
It's a fact. It's just facts.
But with that being said, there are purists still that are out in the business. You have to sift through them to find them. But they're out there.
I love Jasmine Sullivan. I love so many other artists that's out there, from the Neos on. The list goes on. The people that are out there that are still, and then you get this thing. Listen, truth of the matter is, you could put and compare me with Justin Bieber all day long and say, well, who's the better vocalist? And at the end of the day, if you took and put our audience or put his audience in there and tried to compare us, it's not the fact that it's just even about that. The reality of it and truth of the matter is, they can identify, because that's their generation. They could identify with him and connect with him much quicker, sooner, better, and would have a great appreciation for that, simply because that's the language that they speak. That's that they speak, and I think that's what they would connect with. Now, they wouldn't listen at my song and go, he suck, he can't sing. It's just somewhere in there, when you're looking at how you got these images that are created, when you're looking at how the generations connect with each other, a lot of times it's not even just based on the talent itself. It's a combination of a number of quite a few things that will allow, artists to connect and do what they do to become successful. But we do have an audience, and we do have a generation that still has a great appreciation for what we do. And that's why we're still, with ourselves, with Boyz II Men, and some of the others as well, we're still packing houses, and it's not by coincidence.
Yeah. Well, I think we miss it, right? We have a brand bump box, right? And it's the nostalgia. People miss seeing the boom boxes, right?
Right.
You got yours, and you were like, "Holy shit, Sean, we've sent you stuff."
Arsenio came over and saw my artist the other day and was like, "Yo, where did you get that?"
Right. Yeah,
I can't tell you. I'm gonna have to cut you.
Yeah. It's the same reason why vinyl is making a comeback. And even cassettes now. Like kids are actually playing cassettes. Like why? I don't know.
Where are
but
we finding cassette decks?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you're finding a cassette deck. Why, they're experiencing how we experience music.
Yeah.
And it was more appreciated because just like the package that was created, with the music inside of it, like it took time.
The only way we learned the lyrics.
Yeah. You learned, you had liner notes and
remember that back in the day? We had the people looking at who the background singers, the producer, who played on the album. It was all of that stuff.
That's right.
Now,
and you actually looked at it.
Yeah, you listen to the
it.
music, like that was part of the experience. So everything is just been so homogenized because now it's just instant. You hit a button and you got the song. Like I even talked to some of my kids' friends, and they'll like songs, but they don't even know who sings them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they just like the song, and that's a bad way for an artist, especially trying to make a living like we're blessed to have.
Right. Yeah.
Like. These artists are here today and gone today.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a terrible thing. And again, the industry doesn't breed artists like us.
Well, I think in the era you guys were in and before and after, there was artist development, right? There was you guys used to go
sound like we old? Because listen, remember when we was growing up, my parents used to go, "What kind of music y'all listen?" That's how like, but that ain't no real music.
That ain't no real music.
Noise. That's all that is. Bunch of noise. And it's like, I'm saying, listen to us. I'm going.
But like earlier, we're talking about eras earlier. Remember, we're talking about eras. So we're talking about eras. So,
but we are, Johnny. We are.
In your era, there was artist development. I don't know when that stopped. I couldn't put my finger on it. It stopped in 2007, and they just said, "Fuck it." Right. But it stopped somewhere along the way. Maybe when the music people left the business. Right. But artist development was a thing. You would go in and you'd have a producer with you, and they would create the sound for the whole album.
Yeah.
And you knew where you were going and how you were going to write something. And you spent 2 years developing a project, not two months.
I want to say that era ended with us.
Yeah.
Like, because we went through that.
So you guys fuck with me, now you agree with me.
No, it's true. No, it is true. No, it's true. It is true though. We did go through a process of media training and all that other stuff. It's old school, but it's helped us along the way because
to me, what makes it so unique? It's a time, place, and space in an era that probably will never be again. So we were fortunate enough to be in that era where we feel that honestly, for me, my honest opinion is the 80s, the 90s, and early 2000s to me was probably, for me, out of all the eras, I would have to say were the best.
The best.
And the best. And I'm not knocking all the other stuff that comes about because I've often said, I said this before, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And the reality and truth of the matter for art is music is a form of art. And even if I don't like that painting that's on the wall, that doesn't necessarily mean everybody has to see it in the same way that I see it. It's just that it doesn't connect with me, but that's okay. It doesn't make it right or wrong. I just got to understand that we all have different outlooks and tastes on when it comes to art.
No, but guess what, Johnny? Let's incorporate semantics. Labels would say that the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s was the best because they made so
If they look at their books, it's not in the question.
The music industry was popping.
Yeah.
So we got all out of order. We got all out of order on the interview, which was good.
No.
But Shawn loves and does a great job of kind of taking the audience back to the beginning. Shawn, take us back with JG to the beginning.
Yeah. Well, check it out. I always like to do this thing, JG. I like to have the guests close their eyes, right? And I want they can't see your eyes anyway, so you can keep them open.
I want my daddy's record.
And we're going to go back to DC, right? Let's say you're about 8 years old, get up out of your bed, you stretch, you yawn, and you walk out and your family, looking for your family. What was it like growing up in the Gill household, and what type of music was being played in the Gill household? With a preacher as a father.
I was just going to say my dad was a pastor, so I'm a PK. And I remember we the gospel station stayed on 24/7 in our home. And it was crazy because as a kid growing up, secular music was the devil's music. So it was like this thing where anything outside of that was the devil's music. Well, ironically, we would have, cookouts and stuff at the house, and our aunties and everybody, all the family would come over. And that's when we heard the secular music, Marvin Gaye and
Right.
the Smokey Robinsons. The list went on. It went on and on. And little did I know, I was absorbing those things. I understood those songs were just great songs to me, even though we were being raised that, if it didn't have God's name in it, it was the devil's music. Over time, it was weird because even as a kid, my dad bought us all instruments. I have 4 brothers, 3 older brothers, and everyone had guitars. I had a guitar. My other brother had a bass guitar. I had the lead guitar. My other brother had drums. The other one had bongos.
Bongos.
Yeah, and
They put you on percussion?
yeah. Well, sure. It was the little one
Everybody's like,
you do
boom,
that.
boom, he's like,
Yeah, it was like so. And I, as a kid, didn't even realize I was so intrigued with all of the instruments. I know we was just talking about this earlier. All the instruments that I play, I just play by ear. I can't read a note. Never read it, and I've often thought about it and realized that maybe it could expand my horizon, understanding or knowing notes. But everything that I do, even when I'm singing, I don't know what key I'm singing in. I just wherever it is, whatever I'm feeling, wherever whatever that moment is, I'm just there. That's where I'm at, and that's how I've dealt with instruments.
You don't know what note you singing?
Oh hell no. I don't even know.
Listen, you don't know what key you singing. I'm sorry.
No. It's like
don't matter when you him.
That's what I'm saying. That's wild though.
If I see an instrument, something I've never played before, and I'm intrigued with it, I'll sit and look at it, and I could figure it out. And so all my friends, especially Mr. Murphy, Eddie always said, "Yo, nigga, you're a freak. You know you're like, yo, you just took 2 minutes and you just figured out an instrument." I picked up an instrument one day. Rick James brought over this instrument where you push the thing down and the little notes, and they had the little string thing. I'm just looking at it. I'm intrigued with it, and shoot, gave me about 10 minutes. I was playing songs on there, and it's going, "Nigga, you're a freak." It's like I think and thought, even with guitar, drums, or anything, I'm just sitting there and I figure it out. But I never thought it was like there's anything special that I'm.
Did you help Eddie Murphy do his music?
No, there were songs that I would see and listen to him write, and you go, "Yo, that's dope right there." But Eddie's.
What was the record he had that was pretty popular? I forget which one it was.
This guy got so many freaking records that would blow your mind.
No, I'm not surprised.
Just he records that it's just sitting.
I'm not surprised
in a vault, and it's the craziest thing.
People know him as a phenomenal actor.
Eddie's a musical. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, but you know what it is? He was, because so early on in his career, it was about when he tried to make music before, they was going, "Hey man, we want to hear you be funny. We want to hear you sing." So I think it really, like for him, because he started out as a musician. He was, before he started acting.
Yeah.
He was in a group. I think it discouraged him a little because everybody kept saying, "Man, why you want to be a musician? We want to see you be funny." But this guy's got so much music that I swear to you, would blow your mind, that he's just got in the vault. It's just crazy.
Do you guys have some records together?
I've done some stuff with him. I played on records. I've done, stuff. And you just go, wow.
Now, I'm going to tell you a story. I was at a New Edition concert, and we're all, it's a who's who of celebrities backstage, and we're waiting for you guys to get dried off and come back and say hello to everybody. And I see this guy, his back is to me, and he's playing a classical number. Like Tchaikovsky or something like that. And he's playing, and he turns around and there's Eddie. Like Eddie's a beast.
Yeah.
Like musically, like he really is seriously probably better than most people with record deals. Yeah. And that's I can see him being frustrated because you can tell this is in him. This has always been in him.
Yeah.
And he just happened to be funny too. And that kind of took off, and he had to put that to the side.
And not to mention, he gets paid for being funny more than he would probably play.
Correct. Correct.
I think it worked out pretty well for him.
It worked out well. But it's almost like that frustration still. It's like,
that's my brother who has always encouraged me, man. Always been like, and he used to go, "Yo, motherfucker, why aren't you playing? Do you know motherfuckers don't even know you play?" He would go, "Yo, why don't you play in concert?" I remember one time he said, next time we go to a concert and you don't jump in the drums, the keyboards, and the guitar, and he's like, "Nigga, we're gonna whip your ass."
It only adds to the show, Johnny. Like,
I just never thought it was a big deal. Like, everybody will watch me play instruments and go, "I didn't know you played." And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, it's never been a dawn on me like it was a big deal. I'm just like, okay, what?
It's a gift and a curse to be in a group like New Edition, because you guys are like Voltron. You guys can separate and you can come together and make amazing, an amazing show. But one thing that and it's funny, my wife and I talk about it, we would love if there was a section, since we're speaking of it. I know My is one of your biggest songs, and we all love to hear it. But that album, arguably to me, is one of the greatest R&B albums ever created. Like, and I'm not blowing smoke. Like some of the, first off, you had Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis on one side, Ellie and Babyface producing the other side. That's unprecedented. No one's ever done that, right?
That's the first time that.
That's the first time that's ever been done. And every song is great. Like every song. Like me and the guys, I'm telling you, we used to listen to it all the time. And it would be nice to hear Lady du Jour.
Feel so much better.
Feel so much better.
Give my all to you.
So my thing is, try doing that. And I'm just suggesting it to the rest of the guys in New Edition. Is let them.
Y'all listening to him.
This
you know music.
This is a multi-platinum album here. Let him get his off. You know what I mean? like because these songs are like they're adored by all of us. Anybody that knows Johnny Gill knows that album. So it would be nice, JG, to just slide in 5 minutes. Just do a medley of those records. And then you can do it with the piano. It would just make it special.
Absolutely. A moment where in the show where just kind of
because you had that he had that record, like that album was fucking amazing. So you know, to not hear him, you're a little upset, and we know you got a lot of time to share, but man, that would be amazing. Johnny's more than my guys. Trust me, it's a great record, but he's got more joints. Trust me, you know what I'm saying. Now, my question to you, Jay, is, because I've never heard a voice like yours. Like there's not another voice out there that sounds like you. You have a very distinct signature voice or vocal tone. So it leads me to wonder, who inspired you? Because you inspired a lot of people, but who did you listen to? Like, who are the people that created what is in your throat? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it starts from church on down. I sang in church with my dad, who was a beast, to singing in gospel groups. We had a gospel group, but there was groups like this guy named Johnny Holmes and the Prodigal Sons. I ended up singing in that group with as the Prodigal Sons when I was a little kid. But it started from the Mighty Clouds.
Clouds of Joy.
The list goes on. And then when I, made that transition into the secular world, it was the Marvin Gaye's, but it was the Teddy Pendergrass, it was the Peabo Brysons, it was the Jeffrey Osborne, it was the Luther Vandross, it was the one and only Stevie Wonder. It was like, it was so many people that that inspired me that and I took a little from all of them, but the most important thing is being influenced. It's a tricky thing when you're influenced by so many different artists, because you have to still figure out who you are, and you can take a little from everyone, but you still have to create your own identity and create and make your own lane. So that's the thing that those are so many. It's so many that I was just inspired by, and those are some of the ones that, without a doubt, the Manhattans. I got my record deal off of singing the Manhattan song, "Shining Star," and "Feel the Fire," Peabo Bryson.
Yeah.
So
now you mentioned Stevie Wonder. I heard on another podcast. Shout out to the R&B Money podcast, my boys Jay and Tank. That Steve would come by the house.
Oh yeah,
and he would like crack jokes on you.
Would he still to this day? Y'all don't understand some of the things he says to me.
Now here's my question, Johnny. Would you crack back?
Oh, we go at it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Sometimes I start it, but most of the time he starts it. I remember. I remember one time we went somewhere. Oh, we was at this event, and I was just hanging out with him, and all these people with me, and all these people, and I go, okay, listen, all these people in here, I'm gonna be on my best behavior. I'm gonna be cool. You're gonna be cool. Yeah, I'm good. He introduced me to a couple people, and he just goes, I'd be like, I want to introduce you to my little brother. And you should ask him why he could sing so high. And I go, hey, motherfucker. Listen, you don't want to be around us. It goes all over the place. But
Stevie's funny, man.
He's funny. Let me tell you, he is quick and fast. But we would go over. He would come over to my house. We all go out, hang out, and eat and all that stuff. Come back, and one of my funniest stories was it's me, Stevie. It was my fiance at the time, and Eddie and Nicole, and it was like we had quite a few of us. We Ray Leonard, all of us. We would all go out to dinner and
you fly in that room, huh?
Yeah, man, we used to just God, that was the
Heavy.
good old days. It's so funny because Steve comes back. We used to play this game called. He'd play these songs, and then you got to name the tune immediately.
Right.
Then we would go, oh, yo, Steve, sing this, or sing that, sing this, sing that. We're all sitting around, you drinking wine, and we all sitting around laughing, talking, and then he's playing. I've seen nights, Steve, we could be playing, it's like 10 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, we all sitting on the couch like this, and he's still hearing, like, this motherfucker's still playing.
Well, that's funny because Stevie's nocturnal.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know day or night.
He doesn't know day or night.
When we were doing because we did backgrounds for Jungle Fever, and they said, yeah, Stevie wants you guys to be at the studio at 10, right? So me and the guy, all right, we're there at 10. It was 2 in the morning
when he showed up.
Are you kidding me? That we had many of nights that he'd call and go, what are you doing? I'm in bed, like anybody with some good common sense. I got this song. I want you guys, you and Keith come to
You
sing
got the
on.
head to it. Everything.
And you go, all right, I'm coming. I swear to God, I had a story where one night, it was not a night, it was 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there waiting for him to get ready for us to do what we was gonna do. Why did this guy beat all 3 of us, whipped our ass in air hockey? I'll never forget saying, oh man, Steve was the master of air hockey. So I said,
air hockey.
I said, hey, I don't give a fuck what you say.
We
You
need
can
answers.
see.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait.
I told him, I said,
You can't just glaze over that part. Like, you got to understand.
and I remember telling Keith,
That is a visual sport.
Yes.
I told Keith, I was like, yo, man, we can't tell nobody this
Help
shit.
us understand that.
I swear to God, he beat all 3 of us. And I remember when he whipped my ass, I said, I don't care what you say, motherfucker, you can sit.
Right.
Because I swear you do this and I'll hit the table, and his reflexes so quickly, and he was boom, boom, and serve it right back. And I'm going, yo, man, there's no way, man. There's
That's
no way.
crazy.
Yeah. Steve, man.
Yeah.
Sean said you cannot glaze over that.
Yeah, right. That's
I promised, I told Keith the promise we would never tell nobody that he whipped out.
We got to cut this segment is what you're saying?
Right.
Right. You're going to get a text tomorrow. I am. He's going to be like, hey, B. Can you
Right. Yo,
Oh,
man,
my
you need to
God,
cut that
man.
out.
We over the years, and you know what's so great? I was just talking about this in one of the last interviews. Was that we do all these things and being in this business for so many years, and you have so many things you can look back at and could say, what is your greatest reward? But my greatest rewards is my relationships that I've accumulated over the years.
That's real.
Forget this, the awards, those things collect dust. But I'm talking about when you can look at a man, 18, 19 years of age, and say to this day, somebody I grew up and idolized and became a part of my life, and is a part of my life still to this day. That Stevie, it's like sometimes, even after all these years, we'll get on the phone and we're talking, just acting stupid.
Yeah.
And you hang up the phone sometimes, and it still hits me to go,
Right. That's Stevie Wonder. Right.
that's Stevie. I just said, you punk, shut up, and I'll smack you.
Right.
Like, you just be sitting there thinking,
No, but I think that's so cool, though.
Yeah.
You and I have these discussions about you can be a fan of your peers.
Yes,
Oh,
100%.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we've said this. It's like somewhere along the way, it almost, you want to play it cool because you don't want your peers to go, what is he fanning over me for? But it's like, yo, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate what you do. I know we friends.
Yeah.
But I'm a fucking fan. I hope you guys continue to succeed and put out music and
Right.
sell out arenas.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm still your friend.
Yeah, and you get reminded because after a while, I mean, whether it's Stevie, Tyler Perry, who's my other brother, who it was so funny because I've been knowing him for so many years, even before he started doing the movies and stuff. And it was funny because when you open the last studio, it's like your friends, they become your family. And so it's almost like you know who they are,
Right.
but you almost kind of sort of forget. It's because it's not
it's nothing.
So the last studio, I'm watching all this stuff. He's blowing up stuff with all these fireworks work, and Jennifer Hudson comes from behind the thing, and he's doing the things for a lot of the Denzel and all these other guys, Will Smith, for putting them in the Walk of Fame, whatever.
Right.
You're looking at all this stuff that's just going on around you, and looking at all these people around here, and it's like it dawned on me, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I forgot, because that's just my brother.
Yeah, that's right.
You get reminded, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
damn, I forgot that this is who he is. But
It's funny because one memory of mine for you, or with you rather, is we were in Hawaii and we had a show, but you had a show before us.
right,
It was at Blithedale. And we're sitting on the side of the stage, and Mike's there, Ricky's there, Ronnie's there, and the little younglings, us, is sitting on the side or whatever. And they call everybody out on stage. You called them out, and everybody, the crowd's going crazy. And I'm like clapping and everything, and it just dawned on me, was like, wow, I know these guys. It's a bug out. Like when you think of it, because it's like, again,
this
you
is
guys
like family,
were,
so it becomes almost, you forget, you get reminded.
You got to get reminded, but these guys are amazing, and these guys helped, shape my career. And now they're homies. Like I can call them or whatever.
Yeah.
And which brings me to a question, whereas because you've been around so much greatness, it might be hard for you to get starstruck. But is there any artist that you always wanted to meet? One person that you always wanted to meet and at least fraternize with one time?
Wow.
I know it's hard.
It would probably have to be Stevie, because I grew up, and I'll never forget the first time I was introduced to him. My dear friend Keith John took me over to the
and Keith's a beast
to
too.
the studio, and then I remember Steve talking, and he said, I got this song for you, and I'm like, oh yeah, and he goes, plays it. He goes, how's this key? I go, cool. About 20 years later, he says, I got this song for you. I said, motherfucker, you never gave it to me. And you were trying, is it ready now?
Right. Did you finish? He was busy. He forgot.
But he did finally get it to me.
Yeah.
But I've had such a a great opportunity to, and so many opportunities of working with Stevie. I remember on one of my albums, the Let's Get the Move Right album, there's a song called Simply Say I Love You. I called him and I turned the table on him one day and said, what you doing? I need to come out of the studio.
It's
I had him to
mandatory to
sing.
have.
Right. It has to be, because now you know.
I had him to sing. He did the backgrounds on Simply Say I Love You that I did. Troy Taylor produced.
Yeah.
He came by, and we was just sitting there, Troy and I, while he was just, they was piling doing the vocals on background stuff, and just watching him just go note after note after note. We was just sitting there just going, damn.
Right.
Damn. And I remember him, Stevie said to me one day, he goes, you know what I envy about you? And I said, what? He said, I wish I had a falsetto. He says, and I'm sitting there thinking, I said, a falsetto? I said, motherfucker, you do what I do in my falsetto in your natural. Are you out your mind? It's just the craziest thing. Listen to him, talking about something that
he's envying something you have.
Yeah, I'm like, are you out your fucking mind?
That's weird. Yeah,
it's like he's just, and probably that would have to be, it would be Steve, because that's who I grew up on, and I still to this day, that's my heart.
Yeah,
but I have been so fortunate with all of the people that I've met that are part of my life. Yeah. No one has come and gone and they were just short-term relationships.
Right.
These are all like, this is my family, my extended family.
You asked a certain question earlier. I think we go into this. Who's somebody that maybe you would have loved to have worked with that wasn't here? Or is it
probably Donny Hathaway.
Oh,
Donny Hathaway would probably be that.
Do your homework if you don't know who that is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
do your homework, kids.
Only
one of the greatest people on the planet Earth.
Yeah, I remember starting out when I first started singing, and I kept hearing this name, They go, you sound like a I'm thinking, who? And they said, this guy, Donny Hathaway. But I didn't think I did, but it was just whatever it was when they turned me on to him, that you could hear something magical in his voice that was just absolutely was mesmerizing. Yeah. And I became like a huge fan too of him, because he was freaking just whatever that was in that voice. It was just
it was spirit.
Woo, man, my goodness!
Like every song that he sang, it almost, no matter if it was a secular song or not, it always felt like a gospel record. Yeah, it was the quake in his vibrato. It was just how he pronounced things and
the tone, the roundness, the thickness, all this stuff that would come, and how he would just, his phrasing and the stuff. It was like, and everyone kept saying he was just a tortured soul and blah, blah, blah. And he had been through a lot. And I remember thinking, God, if that's what I have to do to sing like that, I'm good.
Right.
Because man, you could feel every note that he would sing.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he was amazing. That's one that I wish I'd gotten a chance to meet.
Well, speaking of tone, obviously, again, mentioning how distinctive your voice is. Anytime your song comes on the radio or whatever, everybody instantly knows what it is, or who it is rather, that's singing. And because of that, and because of your gospel background, and you've been really going hard and you're extensive as far as your performing, in your opinion, what makes a great singer to you? Like what makes a person, because there's a lot of people that tries this.
Right.
But there are very few people that captivate and understand how to deliver whatever message they're trying to deliver. What makes a great singer to you?
For me, it starts with being original. We all, like I was saying earlier, could be inspired by other artists, but who are you? And creating your own identity. My great friend, Luther Vandross, I'll never forget Luther saying, and as a matter of fact, I think it was just recently, he said the same thing in his doc about he always wanted to be himself. He was never trying to be someone else. And he was inspired by so many other singers, from Roberta Flack. The list goes on, all, the people that he worked with and that he was inspired by, but he still understood the task, and that was to still figure out who I am and allow that to be my identity.
Yeah.
And I think for most great singers, that's what it takes because listen, anybody can come out and mimic you after you've created what you've created, but they're only just mimicking what you've created, and who you are and your identity, which it's, sometimes to me becomes a thing where I think can be a bit detrimental. I mean, we got one Stevie Wonder. We don't need another Stevie.
That's right.
Well, we got one Shawn Stockman. We don't need another Shawn.
That's why I think it's hard to watch some of those singing shows for me.
And there's some people that can mimic and do a great job. I'm not taking nothing away.
Right.
They're not, often imitated but never duplicated. Yeah. You are the original. You are the originator. And so I think for most artists, to me, it's really about finding your own identity at the same time. Yes, be inspired. I've taken something from everyone, from Luther, from Teddy, from people, the list. But you're still going to see and never lose the essence of who I am, But I'm inspired by them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, no, that's true. Like
We see some guitars there. I'll let the audience know that they're not just sitting there for a reason. I'm going to force these guys to do something cool today. They don't know it yet, but they're not just sitting there for no reason.
Can I tell you?
Go ahead, Shawn. Move on. Just let them know. Like, I know they see them. They're like, why are there random guitars there?
But listen, this is what's so cool. I remember when Shawn started messing around and playing the guitar, and was when he just first started. So I'm seeing a lot of the different posts over the course of the years, and watching him and just seeing how he had started moving fluent on there and started doing stuff and playing. And then I'm sitting and I'm going, oh, shit. Because I saw when he first started. And I kept saying to him, I'm going, yo, damn. He's like, he really doing it now for real.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow.
Thank you, John.
So listen, man.
That's a compliment coming from someone who picked up the guitar and learned it by ear.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, when did you believe that, or when did you know that, hey, I'm good at this? Like picking up the guitar, I'm like, I think I can play this for real.
I never really thought about it, because anyone that grew up in church, that in church, everything is on the fly. A lot of stuff is on the fly. You have to learn. You're playing behind somebody who's singing. Now you got to find out what key they're singing in. So now, for me, I don't read. So I got to figure out where to find the key that they're singing in. And it's like, it's a good training, because it teaches you at the end of the day, you got to just be in tune with what's going on there. Mm-hmm. So for me, I just always thought it was just not a big deal. I just thought, okay, I can see that. Oh, they're missing the bass player today, so I'll play bass, and I just figure out and start playing bass. But I had no idea that it was like, this is something different and special. No, but not everybody can do it.
Right.
I never thought about that. I thought everybody could sing, because I grew up singing in church. Yeah. So I never thought what I did was special.
That not everybody can sing. You already hit something for you, JJ?
But I'm just talking about getting in the choir. Nobody's gonna know. Right. Come on, I mean, like,
Where's the auto-tune though? God gifted me in other ways. Right?
So it took me a while to realize that, singing is, and being able to be successful as a singer was something that was unique and special.
Yeah.
Because I just grew up in church, and there's a million people that can sing their butts off. So it was never like I felt like I'm just the exception.
So what's the it factor? Because you grew up in a church, you got this great choir. How do you stand out versus the 200 other people that are also can sing their butt off? You
just said it. The key word is the it factor.
Right.
The Bible says many are called, but few are chosen. And there's so many people that can do this, but just the ones that stand out, when you look at us sitting here,
that aura.
When you look at all of us that are all the successful singers and entertainers that you see, as many as you think that there are, you got to remember there's almost probably 3 to 4 billion or more other people
that real.
That is never going to probably even see the light of day. Yeah. We're fortunate.
Yeah.
We're in a pool of so many other artists and people that can sing, can dance, can play, can do a number of things. And those that make it through, it looks like there's a slew of us, but I'm talking about billions that will never be able to see or be heard or have the opportunity to do what we're doing and reach this level.
I always say, concerning just my God-given success, that I grew up in Southwest Philadelphia, right? If you look at the landscape of artists that come out of Philadelphia, none of them come from where I come from. Will Smith, West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground where he spent most of his days, right? West Philly. Jill Scott, North Philly. Wanye Morris, North Philly. Nathan Mars, South Philly. Music Soul Child, South Philadelphia. Everybody was either from North, West, or South.
Right.
I'm from Southwest, which is basically the last part of Philly before you get to the Philadelphia International Airport.
Like being in Santa Monica then.
Yeah, it's the odds of me being anything from that area was, I don't even know the odds. It had to be very, very small. So that in itself keeps me humble.
Yeah.
Because I knew it could have been anybody else. And because of that too, and then being in a group with 3 other freaking aliens that have their own style and everything, I was somewhat of the middle child. You had Wanye doing the Wanye.
Yeah.
Nate had a distinctive flair and flavor with his voice. Mike had the low voice.
Yeah.
They had me. So it was kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, what do I do? So I literally had to, in my mind, work harder and be more of what they were just to be looked at.
Like who Shawn reminds me of? He reminds me of Uncle Walt from the OJs.
I love Walt.
When you look at
Walter.
when you look at Juan, he's like to me the pit bull, and then you have Uncle Walt, who's smoother than smooth as you're gonna ever. I mean, but it's like the dynamics is what makes the combination works. But he reminds me of, and I would always say Uncle Walt is so underrated because listen, man, he's a freaking beast.
Yeah, Walter's a beast.
He's a beast.
He's a beast.
It was just
love Walter's voice.
Pop being the pit bull. It was just always the pit bull bites you immediately. Yeah. You know, so it's like everybody was going, oh, as soon as you see the pit bull. But it's like, you know, there was other, you know, so to me, when I every time when I see them, and if I had to play some of who that he was to me always, that he reminds me so much of Uncle Walt because he's just that he was always to me just smooth, just freaking smooth, which is
thank you, brother.
A balance of what they do to me that makes it you know unique.
Outside of that factor, like I did a lot of songwriting.
Yeah. Wow.
So a lot of this, like I was a studio rat, and I stayed in the studio and I made stuff and created things and stuff like that, and that's part of why I had to work because of the people I was around, which was a benefit for me.
Yeah.
Because when you're around people that are better than you, how else can you not get good at what you're doing?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah.
They ain't coming down to your level. You got to go try to work to get
100%.
their level.
100%.
So we're talking about better. You guys are better than most everybody at music. So I think we segue into Shawn's songs.
Okay, well, Brian's been egging this thing on.
What's that?
Well, let me add some context. So,
add some context.
In the first episode, you know, basically Shawn is our interviewee and interviewer, right? He's playing double duties. We're letting the fans and the audience get to know Shawn at a deeper level. And so we asked him his top 5 records of all time, and immediately out the gate, without hesitation, Can You Stand the Rain?
Wow.
And I said, well, great. When we get you in studio, you can do Johnny Gill, he can do Ralph, and we're off to the races, right? Like, what better way than that?
That's why listen, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Again, as an artist and as a fellow peer, like I don't like putting other artists on the spot because I know how that feels.
No, I don't.
You know what I'm saying? But this is my guy, so you know, I know he'll flow with it because Johnny's just that type of dude.
Yeah, sure.
But
I go with the flow.
I was asking earlier, JJ, like what.
So that's what we're doing. It's Shawn songs. Everybody who comes in, you got to vibe with Shawn. Like he said, he's a singer, songwriter, beast on the guitar. So why waste all this talent? You got to give it back.
Oh, yeah. Can you stand the rain?
See that? But that's all I know. Like wait. On a perfect day, know that I can count on you.
That's not possible.
Oh, I hope I don't fuck this up.
Tell me, can you weather a storm?
Acapella. Cause I need somebody who will stand by me.
Yeah.
Through the good times and bad times, she will always.
Oh, yeah.
Always be right there. Sunny days. Everybody loves them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain?
Yeah.
Storms will come.
I know all the
Yes, we know for sure.
You know, I did that part, and then Rick came behind me and did it, right?
Oh, you did really?
At one point, they was like, you know, it was one point I was doing the vocals to the
Wesley gotta
songs.
come in and mess up your part.
And then, no, because I would sing some of the stuff, the demos of it. Well, it was, I guess I was the demo singer, so to speak. But then they would make me think I'm singing that part and ad-libbing, and then they'd put somebody in to come and mimic or sing the ad-lib part. So at one point I started going, but goddamn, what am I, the demo singer writer?
Well, since we're still here and you're strumming this guitar and we've got a couple more minutes, what's your favorite Boyz II Men record?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God. Are you want to get to On Bended Knee, or you want to get back to...
I want to get to what you want to get to.
Man, I'm just going, which one? Shit.
Pick one.
It was like, but I would have to probably say On Bended Knee, because those are modulations, though.
Shawn's going to give you your chance.
Darling,
I can't explain.
How did we...
That is driving me insane. And I know I just need one more chance to prove my love to you. If you come back to me, I'll guarantee that I'll never let you go. Can we go back to the days when it was wrong? Can you tell me how our perfect love goes wrong? Can somebody tell me how to get things back to where they used to be? Oh God, give me a reason. I'm down on bended knees. It's like every song I'll never forget, just End of the Road. The list goes on. Motown Philly. Ooh. Oh my goodness. I was just like, but I remember when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, they on their way. They good. Oh,
They're
man.
good. I remember that was
shout out to Vita Sparks, who put together not only his album, but put together our two biggest albums.
Yes.
Like, shout out to Vita. We love you.
And she would kill for us. Let me tell you,
she
still
would.
to this day.
She was our
She would-
A&R coordinator
oh my God.
at Motown, and she was the best in the business.
Best.
She put together all of these great records. She even put the Heartbreak record
The
together
Heartbreak, yeah.
because she used to work at MCA.
Yeah.
So she's one of the finest, and without her ear, without her fighting for us and
Yeah.
making sure that
Yeah.
certain budgets get
She didn't play.
all that.
She
You know
didn't
what I mean?
play,
Like,
let me tell you.
yeah, she was a beast. She was a beast. So shout out to Vita and everybody at
Budgets were
Motown
different.
back in that era. It was amazing. You want to play something, Johnny?
Not really.
Yeah, Johnny,
Not really, but I'm
Johnny,
gonna
you
go
know.
anyways.
Bring it home.
Hard paying up right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Johnny Gill, my good friend, my brother, one of the baddest voices you will ever hear in your damn life.
Well, we
Thank you so
We got to
much.
get him out on his top 5 vocalists
Oh
all
yeah,
time.
while he's playing.
Yeah, while you're playing, give us your top 5
5
vocalists all time, Johnny.
Gotta start with Stevie Wonder. Got to give Jeffrey his props. Jeffrey Osborne. Teddy Pendergrass. And I got wow, it's so many. But Donny Hathaway.
There's your 5. What a great list. Well, on that note, we'll let these amazing musicians take you guys out. That's another episode of On That Note with Mr. Johnny Gill and our incredible host, the iconic Shawn Stockman.
Hey, y'all, and that was On That Note. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, here's a couple more videos for you to check out. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.